Hey, what's going on, everybody? MB here, back here once again. Well, not technically back here, but I'm here on Borderlands 2, and today, this is a new thing I'm gonna be starting, and this is gonna be showing you my skill builds and weapons and everything for characters on Borderlands 2, possibly for the pre-sequel. It all depends. But today, I'm gonna be running down through a list of whatever the game base characters are. So today, I'll be showing you Axton the Commando. So basically, guys, I'm not too much of a commando player. I don't really like to play the commando because um, sometimes he's weird to play because of its turrets and everything. So today, for the first thing we are going through is through the skill build, and as you can see, I am all kind of split around. I have everything else, like everything in places. But let's start here in the gorilla skill tree. So for center, it increases the number of shots for your shots for your saber turret fires in each burst, as well as your saber turret duration. I only use this just because uh, the saber turret duration adds 10 seconds. That is good for me because when I come down to this skill double up, yeah, I'll explain more about that. And ready, increase reload speed. I only do this because let's say because for this character I'm always switching weapons and everything. Just boop, boop, reload, and yeah, it may sometimes not be as useful, but I know when I run out of ammo, I usually do a lot with this character. I usually do a lot, so I like to have my reload speed up. So, next, onslaught. Killing an enemy increases gun damage and movement speed. I do it for the movement speed only because with this character, for me, he is very mobile. He always likes to, move around, basically tease the enemies with him in his turret. So, and the gun damage, I do it because Axton does need a lot of gun damage sometimes. So yeah. Then then scorch stuff adds multi-rocket pads to your saber turret. I just because for me it adds more damage to a saber turret than it would usually be able to do. So let's say your turret's focusing on a different enemy than you. With these rockets, by the time by the time you have your enemy killed, the enemy that your saber turret is killing is already by half health, and you could probably end up one-shotting it. Able. Damaging an enemy causes you to regenerate here for a few seconds. This effect does not stack multiple times. I do this actually because with this character I don't use a grog nozzle. I have one, but I don't use it. So in case I'm using like the the slagger or something that will slag like the pimpernel, it would usually heal me. So yeah. Now to grenadier, increase the maximum of grenades you can carry. Okay, so I do this only because as you can see, I have 12 grenades. I haven't maxed out crazy old grenades items, but let's say you're in fight, you need like right now I like to run longbow slag transfusions. So I would usually when I'm at low health, I just throw one of these, and yeah, they'll just hit an enemy. Transfusion trails come back to me. So that is very useful because I usually am throwing a lot of these because I have a blue one. I am trying to farm for a purple one, so I could say whichever one you guys would want, a blue or a purple, they both work. So yeah. And then after that, double up. That would I would I do synergize with sentry, so I get those 10 seconds, and those 10 seconds adds to more with this. Adds a second gun to saber turret and changes both guns to fire slag guns. Lagged enemies take additional damage from all non-slag attacks. So with the sentry having more duration, that means I can slag more, and I usually use a slag weapon, so you have more slagging that you could get with that. So that is basically all for the gorilla skill tree. Now over to the gunpowder skill tree. Expertise increases weapon swap speed, aim speed, and also your movement speed is increased while aiming. I like to use this only because I like to switch between weapons. Like I want more like be using rocket launcher than my shotgun. So yeah, it all depends what I'm using, and I like to change weapons a lot with this character. Metal Storm. Killing an enemy dramatically increases your fire rate and reduces recoil for a short period of time. I do it for the recoil reduction because you want to have as low as recoil as I can because usually if a Herald it doesn't kick as much, and something like this Tor Gravager, it doesn't really kick that much. So yeah. Next one, Battlefront. While your turret is deployed, you deal increased damage. I actually do it for the grenade damage only because like if I don't feel like running the longbow slag transfusion, I usually run an explosive fastball, and with the explosive fastball, I can usually when I go into fight for my life, usually my turret's out, so I can get that increased grenade damage with it. Longbow turret. Your saber turret can be deployed using longbow technology, allowing it to uh, allowing you to deploy it much further away. Also increase the maximum health of your saber turret. I do the longbow because it synergizes very well with Madlock. So yeah, I'll be talking about those two later on. Do or die. Allows you to throw grenades while fight for your life. Also increases damage dealt with grenades and rocket launchers. I like to do this with I usually like to do this only because let's see if I can get myself down real quick. Let's quit this. So let's say I was downed. I had no source to get out. I could, if I had my slag, I could slag an enemy real quick. Then I can't switch to my weapon as fast. Boop. There we go. They would be that with the fast ball. So yeah, it's just pretty good. Or for someone who would be running a magic missile, it would be very good for a quick slag. So yeah. Then yeah. So that's basically it for the gunpowder skill tree. Now to the survival skill tree. Healthy increases your max health. I like to do this only because usually I like to run the rough rider, and it gives more health. And for me, for Axton, I like to have more health because I don't have the survivability because I don't usually use a grog nozzle. So last last ditch effort increases gun damage and movement speed while fight for your life. I like to do it for the movement speed. Like if an enemy would be over there, I would get down like over here. I could I could hurry over here, like I kind of get in a distance like this, and then just throw my fastball and have a chance to slag them with uh with the weapon I usually be running. Pressure improves reload speed and shield recharge delay based on how much health you have. The lower your health, the higher the bonus. I actually like to do this for the reload speed because yeah, I like to have a lot of reload speed with characters because I never know what's gonna happen. And the shield recharge delay, I use it when I'm running either a sham or a B. So yeah, and then uh quick charge. Killing enemy causes your shield to regenerate quickly. I like to run the skill in case I am like raid bossing or something. I would usually run the B, like let's say Power Pete, and he gets my shield, or like the Sham, something like that. But yeah, but I mainly use it for the B because if I'm trying to kill something like Power Pete, then there goes that chance that his spider ant or whatever enemies he depends spawn in on whichever pipe you go to. It could recharge your shield back pretty quickly. So yeah. Now to failing shield. I like to use this only because if I like to synchronize this skill with this. So let's say I'm placing my turrets down somewhere first before I get there. Usually the enemies would focus on my turret, so I want to give my uh, turret extra protection. So by the time I get there, it would have some enemies select, and it wouldn't be dead. So yeah. Maglock allows your saber turret to be deployed on walls and ceilings. I like to do this because it synergizes very well with this longbow turret because with this I can place it down on walls, I can place it on roofs, and enemies wouldn't be able to. The melee enemies won't be able to get to it, and they'll just be looking at it like, what? So yeah, most of the time I would have time to slag them and then kill them. So yeah, and then you have one skill which you can do whatever with. Uh, I put my skill on preparation, increases shield capacity. Also, while your shield is full, you regenerate health. It's not a bad skill to have because it increases your shield capacity. It's barely noticeable, but I like to do that. I like to use that for when I run the B, or more strictly the sham, only because I want to have more capacity and I want to keep that absorb chance up. Yeah, that is basically all for this skill build. And yeah, now for the weapons. For the weapons, guys, you can run anything you want, but I do have some recommendations. I like to run a casual Ravager because it has plus 21% weapon damage. You guys totally do not have to run this. You could run a sword explosion or a butcher. I usually like to switch to the butcher sometimes. Yeah, uh, double penetrating uncompared, and yeah, this gun goes well because it has a lot of weapon damage, and usually for a person who's running a Stormfront would be able to get this weapon out, and it would give them increased grenade damage. Uh, the Lascal. I like to use the Lascal only because it has the more pellet count, and yeah, it's just a very good gun in general. So yeah. Now for I like to run a rocket launcher. You guys can run like an Infinity or something, but this, if I'm not running anything, this is my slagging spot. So uh, there goes a Pimpernel or a Slagger. If I like to run these two because for me they have the high slag chance aside from the Grog nozzle, but honestly I do not like to run the Grog nozzle because of that drunken effect, but I do run the Grog nozzle on different characters. So yeah, so there's weapons, guys. For the shield, I like to run Rough Rider a lot because it gives you that extra max health and a little bit of damage resistance. So it helps a little bit, but I like to run it because of the max health. And I like to run Resolute Veteran because of the higher magazine size. The higher magazine, the better for Axton. Because for Axton, you don't want to be running out of ammo that as fast as you can. So yeah, or around that, or I sometimes run a legendary soldier for the fire rate and the gun damage, and yeah, and it has all these skills which I picked up most of them because besides impact. So yeah, and then after that, grenades. I usually like to run the longbow slag transfusion because the longbow slag transfusion has that child grenades that give you health once after they hit an enemy. But for some reason, for me, these times can mess me over, and the grenades. So yeah, guys. After that, relics, I would recommend more of a explosive relic only because you'll be running your castle of Ravager a lot. So uh, I also like to run in a Legion's relic for if I'm like only gonna specifically run Uncompelled and Ravager because it has increased fire rate. So yeah, yeah. And then Bone of the Ancients only if like I'm in an area like only loader based area. Take out like my Curls of Infinity and just Curls of Bone of the Ancients, and yeah. And yeah, guys, that is usually the skill builds I like to run with Axton. This I usually like to run with Axton. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. I will leave some gameplay before so I've this build can be tested out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Hope you like this Axton build. Yeah, I'm gonna see you guys later.